Hello and welcome to the Bottom Up Skills Podcast. I'm Mike Parsons, I'm the CEO of Qualitance, and today we are at part 2 of the full funnel, the full growth marketing funnel. And we are moving away from the A's that were in the first part of the funnel, the awareness, the acquisition, the activation. We're into part 2. It's all about the R's, the retention, the revenue, and the referral. And did you know that sometimes the growth marketing funnel is called pirate metrics because when you put them all together, they spell har. But there you go. That's just growth marketers being crazy. I, of course, am not crazy. I am going to tell you about the second part of the funnel. Now, the second part of the funnel, it's kind of all the things that start to happen once you have the customer. And, traditionally, marketers were like, hey, that's over to customer service. I ain't thinking about that. But growth marketers, they think about the entire funnel, the entire user journey. That's the beauty of it. So let's look at these R's. First R is all about retention. And that's trying to uncover how many people come back for a second, third, fourth, fifth time and trying to really, optimize that and converting that into revenue. How many people are paying? Well, how much do they pay? And if we're real good, if we're delighting, if we're satisfying our customers, we should hopefully get some referrals. We might even get what they call in the lean world a viral coefficient. And these are really powerful things because, hey, if we do a good job with those that we have and we can attract more with them, then, you start to get efficiencies, you start to get scale. You start to, if you're really good, you get exponential characteristics. If you can design your service to improve with the more people are on it, take Uber or Airbnb are classic examples of this, then you're really cooking with gas. All right, it's time to get into this funnel. Let's get into retention. So retention is all about how many people are actually coming back. So they've had the first experience, but how do we get them back the second and third time? Now, one of the great best practices here in the world of growth marketing is to offer a freemium product. Now, there is a great example of that. We've done a full case study on this company. It's obviously Zoom video, and they gave away a free version of their product for consumers. Pre-COVID, I think you got up to 45 minutes. Don't know if they've changed that now, whether it's unlimited. But the point here is by giving away to consumers a free version of their product, that means people could experience the magic. And we spoke about this in the last episode, really getting people to the magic as quick as possible. But the freemium model builds on that. It means that they can come back time and time again for it. And if you look at their large enterprise clients, over half of their large enterprise client accounts at Zoom, where they make a lot of money, started with one person in the company using Zoom personally as a consumer for free. So that's how retaining the customer made a highly profitable, high growth business. Now, another thing that you'll probably notice from services when you kind of think about your customer experience is the way in which email automation can play a great job in notifying you as a user, hey, time to come back, a reason to come back. This is very good for retention. You'll even see that this email marketing may be rewarding you. It may be sending you personalized content, maybe offering you rewards and loyalty programs. But this is the world of retention. Now, here at Bottom Up, just to give you an example of what we do for retention, every student that completes a masterclass on bottomup.io, they get a certificate. That's great. That's a shareable moment. But what we also do is we also notify everybody by email when a new course is available. This is all about retaining the customers we have, getting them to use the service as many times as possible. Now, a key question to ask yourself here in retention is, are we winning? Are we acquiring customers faster than we lose them? This is probably the ultimate question to be asking yourself in retention because you want to be on the right side of that equation. Okay, so we've got in the head retention. Let's now go to revenue. This is where we're kind of getting into some real metrics, almost lean analytics, if you will. This is where we're trying to think about, how much people are paying and how many people are actually paying. So the best practice here is that you're really trying to find high value customers. Find the ones that are really active, that are paying a lot, get feedback and build around that. And one of the other ways to give trust, a big thing with revenue and transaction, 24-hour a day, 7 days a week, customer support on all channels. And this will be a huge trust builder. And the metrics that really matter at this stage is like average revenue per user, average revenue per paying user. And if on the more mature products, you might be getting into lifetime value and alike. Now, the best example I can give you here is Facebook. Facebook, if you have a look at this, you can actually see this chart on our masterclass at bottomup.io. So go check out the Growth Marketing Masterclass. But take it from me, over the period of 2012 to 2020, you will see that almost every consecutive month, every consecutive quarter, the revenue per user, the average revenue per user increases. This is crazy. They did it not just for months, for quarters, but year after year after year. These metrics are off the chart. This is such a healthy sign of a business if your average revenue per user continues to increase. If you have the inverse of this, I'm sorry to tell you, warning sirens are going off like crazy, because if that number is declining, then there is something very wrong in the way you're converting through your funnel. And you really need to go and ask questions like, do we have the right pricing? You have to do experiments on upsell and cross-sell, and you need to find out what is the most effective source for your customers, why are they coming back? It's really important to ask those questions. Okay, so that was the world of revenue. This gives us one R left, the referral, okay? So we're really getting through the funnel. In fact, in the earlier episode, we did awareness, acquisition, and activation. That's the top of the funnel. Now we've done retention, we've done revenue. We are all into the world of referral. And of course, this is all about asking the question, like, how many people are referring? How many happy customers are going out there and saying, you got to use it? Now, this is such an important measure of customer satisfaction. And the key metric I'd always go for here is your net promoter score. You know, score of 1 to 10, how likely would you be to recommend this product or service to a friend or family member? Really important, because whilst it's actually not much work for the person to leave that number, to give that score, I've found it to be one of the best indicators of, are you doing a good job overall as a business? Now, when we think about referrals, you should be thinking, well, there's a whole practice on referral marketing, I should say that. But think about incentives, giveaways, and contests, or just celebrate reviews and recommendations. You don't even have to give anything away, just make them famous. So if you look at what we do here on bottomup.io, we actually share student progress. So not only by course completion with the certificates, but you can even share completion during a course. If you just finish at one of the lessons inside, of course, you can even share that as well. I got to admit, we could probably do some more work here. But the point here with the world of referral is, how satisfied are your customers? Because if they're satisfied, they're very likely to go and tell someone else. Now, the reason that them telling someone else matters so much, it's the most cost-efficient way to get new customers. 1, referred customers will sign quickly. And 2, it doesn't have all of that paid media expense that you might have to convince people you don't know who don't get referred. They're obviously going to take a lot more time and money and resources to convert. So if you're thinking, geez, we don't really do much here, I would get you to ask this question. Can we create a memorable achievement? Or what's the most shareable moment in our product? Can you build something like that into your product or service so that you set up a reason in the product experience for people to share it? Very powerful question, and it just sets you up for either, at worst, you just give them an NPS and say, how likely would you be to recommend? You might even trigger people referring others just through asking that question. Okay, so what we have done in this episode is done all the R's of the full funnel for growth marketing. In the previous episode, we did the A's for full funnel. I hope your brain is excited and it's not too overwhelmed with all this information. It's really powerful because if you can get into growth marketing, it's really about sustaining positive growth for your product, for your service, or for your business. All right. That's it for this episode. If you want to do the growth marketing masterclass, head over to bottomup.io. You'll get everything you need there. It's all free, so go and enjoy it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap.